Wednesday in welcome to Sober Starting, where the Earth Meditation Guide, and it's Sunday, 15th December 2024. Is the Buddha behind the screen? Yeah. I'm surprised. I never usually picked that this was the spot of the Buddha. Today, I'm delighted to say we're talking about Aquarius and the Earth. So there's going to be a short chat from me. Why are we talking about that? And then we're going to lead into a meditation. Although we're a meditation group, but the kind of a meditation group is different. So, for instance, Anna recently was our key presenter, and she did a presentation on sacred birth wisdom, or the chakra points of the planet. And then the young woman who presented after that, in fact, is one of the great women, recites women, but not only the morning women, she actually recites it in classes, the original learning, etc. So we kind of like to be out of the box a little bit. So I hope you're not too confronted by what you hear this afternoon. So can I just say that we're waiting for two more who are important. Let's just historically, without ambushing you, on 22.2.2022 we launched the third meditation trial, but in a location environment they called Temple Byron. And it's a very significant spiritual centre. In fact, some would say a number of the presenters were world class there. Some would say the top 5 or 10 in the world. And so this tribe launched itself on 22.2.2022. What's the relevance of that? A very significant astrological date. And one of the reasons why it happened on that date, yes, you guessed it, was because of Fatima here and I'll just wait a minute.
Oh, the anticipation of the next century.
You work out what the relevance of this is, and the fact that we have Americans and people from Finland here, wow, you're going to have all the answers for us. Hello, honey. Thanks for coming. Let's sit in the house in my views over here to just get a vision, a view through to the mountain. That's your call. So on 22.2.2022 we launched in Byron Bay at this place which was in the top echelons of the world spiritual centres. And of course since then Byron Bay has gone to the wayside in my view, and we are no longer doing events in Byron Bay. That's I guess my little protest about what I think about Byron Bay and the direction it's ended up in. And that particular centre is now not even a spiritual centre, it's something else. So that's a different story. When we had Pratima here, around that time, she spoke about what the significance of that date. And it was 276 years. This is Pluto and Aquarius. Oh, I beg your pardon. Pluto and Sagittarius. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pratima, you're the astrologer. And Pluto and Mars were jousting with each other, and it's a very significant time. And the previous 276 years ago was at the time of the American Civil War. So it's funny, some people doubt the significance of astrology. Hello, count me in. And one of my friends was very cynical about astrology, and actually sat down and listened to all your tapes one day, and came back to me with the view to hoping you'd find an error in them. And hello, no errors.
The American Revolution.
The American Revolution.
Civil War was Hungary.
Right. So we come through from that big event through to 2022, and Pratima mentioned at that time, come come November-ish, 2024, another significant time will be upon us. And that she was referring to was when Pluto would move into Sagittarius. She's going to
Aquarius.
into Aquarius.
Aquarius for the next one. The 744.
So 20 years of Aquarius. And when you look at Aquarius, it's a very significant time, and thus reference to the new Earth. Particular relevance to me is that in 2022, we try at the start of these gigs a little bit to have stories. So Steve in the past has given a story about that bloodwood tree there. On another occasion, we had a story about a mountain called Arunachala, there was a story about Arunachala, and that story came from Arupa. So if you'd like to share that story today, you're welcome, but otherwise you can sit quietly, but we'd love to hear it sometime. In 2022, I had 3 warnings, and it's the subject of a book that's happening. And very briefly, the 3rd warning was me lying in the beach and running the heads of Corotina and waking to the slithering of a snake up my belly. And when I opened, and this was in a school holiday period, so Corotina was completely covered with people, and the Oscuro cooler was up next to the rocks and had his head on the rocks, and he was deep in sleep. So I woke up to a slithering up the belly, and when I opened my eyes, it was this close.
What type of thing?
And it was wiggling its tongue. And isn't it funny when we were in that situation, of course, because the second warning that I got was just as graphic. It was a motor vehicle accident. And I remember lying on the road thinking, oh, I'm glad I had this helmet on. Anyway, the first thing I thought of it was, she was so close, I could kiss her. Anyway, the young guy to my right on the beach was a cowboy. So people started separating, and he was a cowboy. He said, "Hey, I'm a farmer." And that's so a brown snake. So it's one of the venomous snakes of the world, and it's just there. Boom! I was relaxed. It just slid off. So there's a whole section there. Fatima, there's a reason why you're here today. I'm trying to finish off a chapter in one of the books. That night I was at a Hindu gig, and there's a woman there who, Anna and I know, who really knows the goddesses. And we're going to devote one of our songs this afternoon to one of the Hindu goddesses, but not this one. Because Martha, when I briefly told you the story, said, you know the Martha. You had a persistent God. And so Carly is awful. She's the one called the snakes coming out of her, and I'll let Padma tell you about that. So it's kind of historical that November, December 2024 is significant, and it just so happens that the Earth Meditation Tribe had a particular agenda in the website, connection to Earth and the interconnection of all beings, etc., etc., etc. And all our things have been live streamed. But the fact is, when that was being created, and a small group of people who were working on that, we realised that it possibly had a use-by date around this time. Because we suspected that something significant was going to come upon the world around this time. And so it may be that there will be a far bigger event developed in 2025, which is very much about having the and Aquarius, the major around the sun. But that's where you come.
Yeah.
So that's historically why I wanted this event to happen at this time, because it's Fatima and Arupa who said to me in 2020 and 2021, no, you can't let it share. It's got to be on this particular date in 2022. And I was true to the earth. We launched on that date, and it was quite a big gig at Temple Bar. But I leave it at that? So that's the historical wisdom.
And those things are really introduced to the
Well, there you go. And Arupa lives at Nirvana in here, and she is the true fairy of gardens. She has the most exquisite gardens in this whole world. Okay, so what we're going to do is this. That's my talk today. It's clear to me that I'm not going to be able to do Arupa in talking about Paramhansa. Maybe some other day. I'll do a short third meditation because that's what we've advertised. And then what we're going to then do is to move into Paramhansa's talk about Aquarius, into the earth. And then from there, we've got some music. And what we do is we try to have a sharing circle. And Anna has already got the tea out the back. And there's some banana cake. And there's a story about banana cake. But not now, a little bit later. You okay with all that, Steve? That resonate? Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just go straight into meditation pose. I want you to... Or what's the mode you put it on? Aeroplane mode. I think what we'll do is we'll kind of start a bit late. We're trying to run these events in. So you're going to get the short version today. But if you are someone who's keen on meditation, this particular meditation, I believe, is a very good one. And it's been inspired by a great German victim called Himalaya, who in my view is one of the good ones in the world. And it comes from 2019, from 20 early, like that. And I'm at least going to refer to the fact that this guy's there. The Americans are using a lot of him in their big projects because it's complete mess. So, we'll get into meditation position, whatever that means to you. The main thing is that you're comfortable in a position where you're comfortable in the earth. The first part will be just an introduction. The second part will be the actual earth meditation of Gaia Bhumi. And that will be an internal experience on the proposition that we are all one and the same as the earth. The third part will be an external experience where we pick up on the similarities between us and the earth. And the fourth part will be on the earth is our proposition, which becomes a core methods of communication, which is very much about communication. And fifthly, to end that meditation, there will be an invitation to you to visualize and to imagine a Vishnu says that in the practice of touching the earth, our body and mind are perfectly united. And in doing so, we touch our ancestors, descendants, and all forms of life in the present moment. We touch the essence of being, and in doing so, we recognise that we are part of the earth, and part of life that continues on. So the practice is to return to the earth, to our roots, to our ancestors, and to recognise that we are not alone, but connected to a whole stream of life. We touch the earth to let go of the idea that we are separate and that we have a separate self. touch the earth to remind ourselves that we are the earth. And in doing so, we also remind ourselves. We touch the earth with the simplicity and the humility of a young child. And when we touch the earth, we also become great like ancient trees, sending roots and drinking the source of energy from the earth. When we touch the earth, we breathe in the strength and stability of the earth. And we breathe out suffering and feelings of anger, hatred, fear, inadequacy, and greed. So for those who are able to do so without too much guilt, we'll start, of course, by acknowledging our Indigenous brothers and sisters. In the west, we have a mountain called the Limb. And you can feel and sense the energy of that mountain. We acknowledge the oracle, the wonderland, and the Hopi people who have a connection with the sun, and all Indigenous people. We wish their leaders, past, present, and future well. We acknowledge the sovereignty of the universe. May they be well. So, for those individuals, we all 10 fingers on the earth. And we breathe in the strength and the stability of the earth. And we hold and let go. To the right, to the left, left hand on the ground, right hand over the side. Once again, deep breath in, hold, and let go. Back to the center. Hands in your lap or on your knees. Once again, this is you guys leading, or some call it ocean. Deep breath in. Deep into the dungeon. Holding and letting go. And to the right, the last one, right hand on the earth. Deep breath in. Left hand on the right side. Hold and let go. And some of you will know from the former conferences during the COVID, when we're sitting in this place and we do it like this, we're essentially in the same method. And it's one of the reasons why we breathe deeply together. And we get calmly and rapidly. During this brief meditation, as you scan through your body, if there's any kind of stress or tension, breathe and soften. Stiffen. So the mind lets meditation. Allowing the mind to rest in the body. Just as your body sits in the and establishing mind as soft awareness. And that would be my hope, that once you've established that, that you'll carry that through life. The internal body scan using airplane. As you know, we have earth, wind, fire, water, and some adding consciousness. So, the earth, the body of firmness, hardness, starting from the head. And as you navigate down through your body, the body, the jaw, and the conscious peace will soon work out what is hard. And solidity. Your neck. Shoulders. Earth. Upper torso. Lower torso. Upper arm. Lower arm. Hand. Third arm. Hips. Upper leg. Lower leg. Feet. The earth element. Solidity. Hardness. Firmness. However you noting that you've now made connection with the earth element. And if you become distracted, you can return to your breath during this meditation, or you might return to the earth, to the mountain. You externally earth. That which provides us with the food we eat, shelter, and safety. The oxygen that comes from the food, from the plant. Temperature, the warmth, and of course, water. A very simple proposition. No water, no life. And we note those characteristics of the earth that were internal to us are also external. We are in fact one with the earth. time to the edge of your time. And you know how the earth rolls out endlessly potential, endlessly variable, endlessly variable, endlessly variable, and back to the full harmony of in the top, and below. On the earth, we have to either be connected to that, allow each one of the four divine modalities to deliver. This is as defined by the Dalai Lama. I wish the desire of self and others to be free of suffering, free of harm and sickness. It's not a matter, as some would say, in relation to that underworld entity, which is often described as walking a mile in my shoes or someone else's shoes. What's the matter? What's the matter? No one is answering. You just have to the affliction, the suffering, the pain. And there's another word that's sometimes used without the word. It's called asking. So we start this exercise of compassion by how do we activate compassion? And there are different techniques and tools. And the first one, often used, is by word picking, by reciting, say the word. It could be narrow, being, and suffering. Or it could be observe what's happening. Secondly, you might be an image person. That might be by bringing to mind an image of a baby, a puppy. That's that, and abstraction, because people feel in the mind of their own. And the fear that she has for the baby. The third possible way that I often use is I'm a music person. And the great German composer Deuter has given us permission to play a few of his songs to accompany our birthday party. I'll put on one of those songs in a moment, First Funeral. And I'd like you to be doing a funeral, doing compassion, but when you feel it into that groove and captures that energy that is compassion, you can just simply be and moving from being to being. And when you hear the music start, that'll be my signal to you that you've done enough to be activated, to be put across, to be or heart. One of the songs that the guy who wrote the book on heartfulness sang going to training conferences to get the point across as to what was heartfulness, which he would go on crossing down to the training conference, was something like this. Times in our lives, we all have pain, we all have something, but if you don't, you know that pain always comes. You know when you're on that I'll help you carry it won't be long. Somebody. Just be. And the last part of our work meditation. Of course, is image yourself in that short explanation, but it's going to be an invitation for you to visualize and to imagine the new earth, whatever that may be for you. This might be sky traveling through the world. And it's the beautiful song once again of sky bringing us right away. Imagining, visualizing the imagining that this is the earth. We'll finish off with a short next is not within our system. And this beautiful mountain called let's check Aquarius. And the energy of the earth and you is coming from the mountain. And once again, deep breath in, deep into the breath. And hold it. And so remember that help you in all no matter what, no matter what your life is, no matter what. I was feeling this new, my well-being, and joy, no love, and no way to live your life and my life. Om Shanti. Thank you for being patient. Have a sacred prayer. And what I'm going to prepare is going straight into pain. You need to slide out, there's water out about here, and there's that other place up the let's give Adam the floor. You probably read the blurb. And Fatima, there are lots and lots of astrologers around. Of course, I think Fatima, however, is special. Amongst other things, she has a long, long history, if you would have read in the blurb. It goes way back to when she was 17 or 18, when she thought, well, hang on a minute, there's something more to this life. I'm going to get on the road to India and become a writer. And thus she was hanging out with people like all right, you know what I say. All right, but it's all in the blurb there. And as I said to you before, for instance, she has been the lead astrologer at Woodford, and you don't get a gig at Woodford unless you know what you're talking about. Woodford's one of the big festivals in Australia. So welcome, Fatima, and thank you, and looking forward to this chapter in the book.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Good to know. So sorry for the period.
You might remember that 2020 was quite an important year, and I remember Woodford actually announcing that as of January the 12th, 2020, it was going to shift humanity in some major way. I didn't know how, but you may remember that was that. I'm going to be more careful with my words. You know what happened in the beginning of 2020? Anyway, there was a certain sickness. And so that was quite dramatic and took, a few years there. And I would like to announce, actually, before I forget, that on Friday, the Supreme Court of Queensland ruled that a doctor was illegally dismissed for not wanting to indulge in that requirement back then. And so it has totally freed up all doctors and nurses who were sacked or who had to leave their work in every way. So it's amazing that happened on Friday. And that is a very good indicator of the mood that we are shifting into, because as we go now into Pluto and Aquarius, where we are finally, we did quite a few little twos and fro's of it going in and out, back into Capricorn, back into the status quo, back into the power of government, of society, of rules and regulations. Back into Capricorn, we've had that since 2008. And so now we've shifted, finally, we are totally in Aquarius with Pluto until 2044. And it really is everything that song might have wanted to sing about, because it is going into a situation where the power is with the people. So it's no longer us looking up to these authorities who then judge and rule over us and tell us what we're doing. It's really back to the people having the power. And the last time that Pluto went into Aquarius, we had, as we mentioned, the American Revolution, 1776, and then we had the French Revolution, 1779, right? And so that whole period was just this Pluto going into Aquarius. And so the people rose up. They said, no longer we're going to have Louis XVI, Marie Antoinette saying, well, if there's no bread, feed them cake, totally dissociated from what the life of normal people were. And so the people start getting their energy up and their sovereignty. And they're not going to, they'll have a very hard job doing what they did in 2020 again. It's not going to work. There's much too many people who realize that was really all false and was actually an attempt of powers that be to rule over us and, if you like, establish a one-world government in some ways. So that cannot be anymore. And they are just in the last throes now. So starting at the beginning of November about, I know one of the peak days was November the 3rd, and of course the American election is November the 5th. So it will happen then. And it's Mars squaring Pluto. It's an incredibly trying, challenging aspect. Mars is the god of war. It started coming in already in the beginning of October. I'm not going to say too much about what happened when, because we got censored once on YouTube.
We're not listening. You say what you say the truth.
So anyway, we started. I mean, Mars. I think it was October the 7th, and I was sure something very drastic was going to happen. So October the 8th was Gaza. And so that was the beginning of this Mars going into Pluto. So we have got that still going until May next year. That whole Mars, it's amazing that it stays so long because Pluto moves so slow. You know, Mars normally whizzes past Pluto, but in this case, it's got the appearance of Earth. It's going past and back and along and along and along before it goes. So it's an exceptionally long run, which is for humanity to work out what, work out these unevolved aspects of it that still somehow need to be realized and lived out and fully seen before we go into the stage of Aquarius, when we won't have that kind of thing anymore because the people won't allow it. As it is, everyone's just going along and saying, well, there's nothing we can really do. The power's up there, so we sort of surrender our power. We won't be able to do that for much longer. And not just because of Pluto and Aquarius, because Neptune, let me get the dates for you, so I must have the dates. Neptune is going on the 30th of March, yeah. Incredibly important date. Neptune has been in Pisces for quite a while, and it goes into Aries, but on that date it goes into 0 degrees of Aries, which is the beginning of a whole 164-year cycle. So just like Pluto has just begun this 245-year new cycle, Neptune's now joining it close behind and some months after in its own cycle, and that's going into Aries. So Neptune in Pisces is this wonderful wishy-washy, spiritual, psychic, gorgeous, but again, we tend to surrender our power in that aspect. And when it goes into 0 degrees of Aries, Aries, the warrior, the individual, is standing like own authority. I know what I want, and I'll make sure I have it. You know, it's very activated. It's fiery. Pisces is so watery, go along with it. You know? And so we get that first hit of this great chance, which none of us must miss, to come into our own sovereignty, into our own power, state what we want, know what we want, not just go with the flow. And then not only that, but some time after, or it is quite a little while after actually, Saturn then also goes into 0 degrees of Aries, but it's not until 26, in fact, 20th of February 26. So that's why I want to cover a little bit this 25 and 26 period, because it's actually more important and it's going to be more intense and more of a change. More change is happening in this 25 and 26 than happened in 20. 20 was the dying throes of the old power. Can they put us down? Can they subjugate us? Can they take control? And the answer is no, they're too late. They can't anymore. We've already gone into this new age. And just like in the French Revolution, in the American Revolution, the power went to the people. We've got this beautiful Declaration of Independence in America that is still one of the best we have on the planet. Australia doesn't have a Bill of Rights. And we should try and get one. But so we're moving into this whole new era, and Saturn also is, did I say, going into Aries. So they actually both are fully in 18 months from now. So it may sound like we're talking in 26, but it's not that long. In the astrological picture, and the picture of humanity's evolution, it's nothing at all. It's 18 months is nothing. And so I want you all to please remember that 30th of March next year date, because I want you to make sure you're really following your highest personal ideal, that you are, perhaps you are doing meditations, perhaps you are centering it, perhaps you are standing up for what you want and getting very clear and really, because what's going to happen also with this Aquarius energy, you know, the symbol of Aquarius is this double zigzag, and that's like electricity, frequency, energy, and it's all going to be speeding up enormously because we've had this period of all earth and water, and now we're going into this period of all fire and air. And Jupiter going into Gemini, everything will be so speeded up. Everything, we're already feeling that, no? That it's like the pace is speeding up around us, it's quite hard to keep up. So feeling that. Well, it's going to get more like that, even more. And so it's going to become super important that you find that inner silence within you, where let it revolve, let it rotate and go crazy around you, because your inner being is centered, it remains untouched, it knows it's just Maya, it's passing, these things come and these things go, the earth remains, life goes on, not to be too caught up in the news, for example. So it's news. But just to keep that center in yourself. And it will be much easier than before because of the Aries. So we will be able to do that. We'll find that new strength inside us. It's really quite exciting. So although it's a speeded up time, it's also like it's a revolutionary transformation for humanity in all matters technological and spiritual, naturally. So Aquarius ruling Uranus, so that's all the AI, that's all these beautiful drones over New Jersey, hundreds and hundreds of them at the moment, even down in Florida. No one knows what they're calling them drones, I'm sure they're beings from other planets. And they're especially said that, well, they're either beings from other planets or they are the industrial military complex trying to do a false flag. So they haven't, of course, even tried to shoot anything down. So that either means it's their own crafts, which is possible. But when you see some of the close-up photos of these drones, they look very much like magical orbs. With one even looked like it kind of had a fetus inside, like a fetus image, and they're very intergalactic. So I personally go for UFOs especially because they're over military complexes and they're also over nuclear bases. And we know from previous times that when nuclear things were trying to be set off, that the crafts came over and didn't allow it. Because apparently if we do something nuclear, it affects our whole galaxy. They don't like it. They don't want us to do that. So they will stop us. So let's see. I'll go 60. I'll go 70% that it's intergalactic beings coming to calm down this imminent prospect of nuclear war that is going on because of NATO now and Biden allowing long-range missiles into Russia. They're absolutely trying for that. But again, they may succeed for a little while, but I've had to bet some money on it that they won't go past May. And that may be helped very much by Trump, who is saying that he wants to create peace. And, he's already in conversation. Biden hasn't talked to anyone in Russia for 4 years. Conversations are happening again, like various things are happening. And of course, Tucker Carlson going and having an interview with Putin, with the foreign minister the other day, which is even better than what Tucker Carlson, and hearing the Russian side. So they don't want war, absolutely. And so I don't think it will happen, or even though it looks like it's, they've got the clock at 90 seconds to Armageddon at the moment, but I don't think so. So that's kind of good to know, isn't it? But if I didn't know the astrology, right now I would think it is inevitable that we're going to World War III. But because I do know the astrology, I don't think there's any chance of doing that. So, hallelujah. God. Yeah. What else to say? That's the name. Sorry. So it's, oh yes, and then there's some fabulous things that happen, very important. Some great stuff that's happening, which is another reason, like we know we're in this Mars Pluto thing right now. But not far into 2025, we get what's, they call it a mini trine. It's a positive 60-degree angle between Pluto and Uranus. And last time we had a Pluto-Uranus trine was 1967, 1968. Anyone remember what happened then? Maybe. Oh, was that when Kennedy was assassinated? Yeah. Uh-huh. So anyway, what also happened then was it was the summer of love. The massive festivals, it was free love, lots of protests because it was Vietnam. I don't know when the border in Ohio happened, but it must have been sometime after that. 69. So it was that massive, what was Woodstock? Yeah, so it's Woodstock. And in England, I was going in 69 to this huge festival that had, Jimi Hendrix and John Stockton and everyone. It was like, Summer of Love. So Summer of Love that goes along also with massive protest. So that's what's coming. That's what's this year, 25, 26. And because the people aren't going to stand up for it. So there will be protests because, of course, getting that old system out they don't just fall down easily, but we have to, it's a bit of a battle. And it does look like Trump's going to come in with Kennedy, who's one of my heroes, who's going to make America healthy again and stop any possibility of more things being injected into our bodies that we don't want to need. And then he's got Elon Musk, of course, who's super successful technologically, helping very important because on the mundane level, the technological changes that we're going to see in the next couple of years are going to be extremely hard to keep up with. They are going to be absolutely revolutionary. And, of course, in our communications and so on, that will be wonderful. And what we can do on the computer is going to be extraordinary. But where it may affect more of us is in the health world, where massive breakthroughs will come through because of AI. Because, the whole doctors and lawyers is going to become obsolete quite quickly because the computer's just going to scan all 500 million cases of that particular illness that happened and what were the results, and okay, here's your answer. So we get massive breakthroughs in fact that may be a little expensive for some of us as well, but at least it's beginning, and then it'll come down slowly. So that can help us a lot. And and things like 3D printing. So at the moment we've got this terrible building shortage, house shortage, but they're forgetting to say, but hang on, it's only like the day after tomorrow that we're going to have 3D printing of houses in a day, and then there's a house. So a lot of our problems now that's insurmountable will change very quickly in these next couple of years. So there's loads of good stuff. Loads of really exciting good stuff. And so we have this trine between Uranus and Pluto that was like 68 and gives a very positive foundation for change. It makes revolutionary change very easy and smooth. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be violent takeover before we give our skill. It can be much easier. And then you have what they call the mini trine, because they've got Neptune sextile both Uranus and Pluto. And Neptune is our spiritual beings. And so it's very well aspected. And so again, we can have this breakthrough luck where suddenly it's so easy to meditate. Like, oh my goodness, it's just coming to you, just easy, no effort. And then healing modalities, like Steve has this incredible modality called the emotion code and other things now, where he's just managing to heal people online, you're just on a computer on the other end, and you're having this kind of major breakthrough realization where your whole emotional ancestral patterns from centuries are being cleansed and cleaned out, and so the new beings will come into that in a, because in our section, so there's going to be a lot more of that. And there's going to be a lot of healing that is frequency and sound. And so if you do get chances to find that kind of thing, to go for it, if you can, because they will work more and more. As our beings tune into that, not that, so maybe they don't work so much on us now because we're still stuck in that old paradigm. But we are all going to be opened up and out, whether we like it or not. And so those frequencies will come in and work on us much more easily. It's very hopeful. And then what was the other thing? Another great thing about. Well, anyway, let's just say. Yeah, so we start really having this cultural changeover where society is changed in 2025 beginning and then 2026 really beginning to settle in. And I do remember one of my great gurus saying that by 2032 we're in a totally new age. Like we're well through all this and really into, you could say, like an enlightened society, like mass awareness. So that's not that far.
You say like this period of turbulence.
Yeah.
When it,
Yeah.
people holding on with
Yeah.
rain is on them, they're trying to hold on.
Yeah.
Which is turbulence, and we're kind of breaking through.
Yeah. They're very turbulent. Right now, they're right in the midst of that turbulent time. And Netanyahu is the best example. It's like we've got this massive transition there, where it's very challenging for us. I mean, how blessed are we living here, where we didn't read the news, we would be relatively untouched. And it's like this cliff edge, they're sliding down it with their feet on their nails from the feet. So, the New World Order and Davos, and it's getting a bad name. And when COVID first came out, I think it was maybe something like 15% weren't taking the injection, and then by the end of it, it was more like 30%. Maybe you have one or two because but then after to get the third, and now, I mean, even the ABC News is saying it's very hard for you to get any kind of injection for anyone. So there's been a massive wake up from that. And then I love it too when you get someone like Tucker Carlson or Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan he gets more views every day than CNN, NBC, the New York Times, Washington, all put together. So that it's dying. The old news system is dying. People aren't going to read newspapers anymore. Everything's online, and you follow who you like. And so,
The old media.
Yeah. Old media's on its way out. The new media is coming in to be more and more dramatic, and so it's quite exciting. Really. If anyone wants some great media outlets, I could write a few down. We've got some really great ones that you guys will all use from regularly. In case you haven't got them. Yes, okay, now there's one thing that's not so nice actually, and that's Saturn conjunct Neptune in 25 and 26. Like it is all part of changing humanity's identity, but traditionally that Saturn conjunct Neptune can be diseases, and so I wonder if they might try and bring in pox or bird flu or something. When are the dates of that exactly?
Gosh, you better build a vaccine.
moment. So, so would it surprise me if there are, they're already sent UN representatives government down to the Democratic Republic of Congo to investigate mysterious illnesses. So that's probably the one that I'm doing. So just something that actually is just passing. Don't take it too seriously. Don't believe the normal media anymore. Yes, that might be my only thing to say.
In fact, I'm no longer looking to the notes. What came out in the news a few days ago, I don't read the mainstream press, so I'm behind with the ABC and all that news. There's nothing new together. There's a famous German philosopher from the 1920s who did a study and issued a prediction way back then. And you guessed it, it's for 2024, 2025.
Oh.
It's about the collapse, he was predicting the collapse of the democratic system and something that's been called Caesarism, or Caesarism.
Caesar as of Julius Caesar. Caesarism.
And this guy was kind of a assembly.
Yeah, so we're in for quite an exciting ride, but I think I'll end that long enough as historically. Anyone got any
Always
questions?
rely on Canada to take you to where you need to go. Now, can I just say to you, I've had a meditation, look forward, and this is a day that surely lots of music. But you know what we're finding more and more in those gigs, Steve and I? That the people in the circle, and I always say this to the Buddhist teachers who hang out with me, it isn't my field, it isn't in the circle. So, your call, if possible, we try to encourage or at least give the opportunity to the circle. And that's why that little thing is there. If people don't know the speak, you don't have to say the name, or they can say X. Your call.
Anyone got anything they'd like to say or ask?
Or if you go around the circle, we sometimes do it, and you get the opportunity to say one word. What do you think? At the end, you have your network.
I just wanted to say something about transition, because I will observe when the mother gives birth, the painful transition immediately before the birth, and it's often the most challenging time, is when mothers will often say, I can't do it, I can't go on, give me cesarean, you won't get me out of here, and all of those sort of things, and swear at their partners, and all that sort of thing. And so, yes, that feels true that we're in a transition. But the thing of birth has been so affected by patriarchal racism, like the system, the birth system, the area of birth is so influenced by patriarchy, that we're actually at the worst possible place that we've ever been around physiological birth. Yes. And it's almost like patriarchy is hanging on to do alive. But I'm just looking forward to when all women can rise up and stand up. Because we all need to, it's a small section of our life. With my own view, there's hundreds and thousands of babies still sleeping out screaming.
Anna, by the way, is a doula. She has presented to Victoria's
And because also the babies that are coming in now are going to be accused of Aquarius. So that gives them a whole, they're going to be free, sparkling little spirits.
Yes, and
that,
one in three in Australia is born by cesarean.
yes.
So it's got to change.
It will,
When it happens,
yeah.
one in three babies.
It will change now. Obviously. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Because it's part of the ego and part of the woman, what does she want?
Okay. I wish these arguments went to time and we've got a few songs to play there in Clayton. Anna, in fact, you know how this tribe has a connection with Saraswati. That's the whole, one of the issues for this tribe is that we are a platform for the goddesses. We don't go into that today. You look back at the women who dress, no classes dress. So what I was going to say to you was, Anna has got in fact a poem around about Saraswati. And you and I was hoping to use it to sing Saraswati, and she's going to come and just go into some other songs if you like. Anyone else would like to sing or strum guitar or a harmonium? We're going to. Do we need to have a 3-minute or 4-minute break? And if we do, stick to the 3 or 4 minutes. Don't turn them into 14 minutes. That's what's happened in the past.
Let's not have a break because it's 4 to 4 and somebody can just have it. So
You need to go.
And
Right.
is there any paper
Oh.
or tissue? Tissue too?
Yeah. Yeah.
You happy to go on, Kate?
Yeah.
Right.
Are you going to sing the Saraswati?
Yeah, let's do Saraswati.
Or you want to do the poem first? Do the poem first. Oh no, let's move the microphone.
Don't assume it's different on yourself.
So Saraswati, the goddess Saraswati, the Hindu goddess, is the goddess of, she's an eternal source of knowledge and wisdom, and that is what she's recognized for. She's often discussed as being the goddess of communication, of music, of the arts, but in particular of wisdom. And one of her qualities is she's known as the flowing one. And I'll just read a little bit about her being known as the flowing one. One of the meanings of Saraswati's name is the flowing one, as she is the goddess of the mystical Saraswati River, known as the sacred river of knowledge and wisdom, where it is said her divine presence is most palpable. And her name means the essence of the self. So it's really perfect for what you were sharing, Pratima, because the Sara is essence and Swa is self. So it's about opening to embrace creative flow as a way of expressing your own unique essence as a powerful gift. And I'll just read this poem that I have been unable to find the author, but I will read it. Flow. The divine quality associated with Saraswati is flow. She is the flow of raw information into assimilated knowledge, of words into comprehension. She is the flow of thought into expression as music, art, speech. She is the slow, years-long glacial flow of experience into wisdom. She is the flow of water in rivers. She is the flow of a mother's love, healing, purifying. She is the flow of every melody, the flow of inspiration, the flow of eloquent language, the flow of all creativity. She is the flow of activity in tune with Dharma. She is anything and everything whose flow purifies the essence and the self of a person. Thank you.
This copyright reasons, I'm love Christian Dad. My God, so great. You very, the words, as I say, they three similar. Boris Grebeshekov is a very famous Russian who many regarded Russian pop group. And he got together with Christian Dads, and this version we're going to sing this afternoon is the version that comes from.
It says, may the waters, the mothers cleanse us. May they purify us with butter. For these goddesses bear away defilement. I come up out of her pure and cleansed.
Very simple.
Is this Bengali.
Om Ayin Saraswati Namaha Om. Very simple. We bow to you, Saraswati.
We bow to you, the name is Saraswati.
Now we haven't played together, but so looking forward to playing with that.
Saraswati Namaha Om. Om Ayum Saraswati Saraswati Does anyone have a glass of wine? Joyce's around.
It's the most exquisite. Now, just hang on a minute.
Oh,
Stop it, Vera.
he wrote this song called Blessed Be Our, and it's been sung all over the world by so many people. I think she's great. Thank you. Peter.
No, I'm happy with that. I'm just checking in on an intellectual property issue, and I'm happy with the answer I've got.
Yeah.
It really is the most exquisite song.
I'll just do the announcements.
Now, while you're just strumming, I'll pass that around the room, but it comes back, please. Hear the words. You're just going to move it around the room.
dance on this ground. The rhythm of saints to carry the sound. We hold the breath of the earth, the ones yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 blessed we are to dance on this ground. Rhythm of saints to carry the sound. Say a prayer for the prayer for the ones yet to come. May we walk in beauty and remember your song. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Hey, 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 Thank you, Fatima. That's gonna be my new favourite song.
Yes.
Can I just share those words again with you? I know you'll be passing them out. Blessed we are to dance on this ground, the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. We hold a prayer for the earth, the ones yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song. Amen. Blessed we are as to dance on this ground, the rhythm of saints. Your chorus, remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. And then learn it Hindi and Mahani because you might find you're singing it next time around.
It's pretty popular in China.
Is it? I must have been moving in the wrong circle. Now, what time is it, Steve? Or someone?
4.
Is that all? All right. Tell me where to from here. We've had a young guy singing with us who's come along, and you often see him outside the Coles supermarket at Ocean Shores, so that's in your church, isn't it? And he is the most divine singer in person. And he sang a few songs for us last time. I said, hey, can I sing one of your songs again sometime? So I'm going to sing it, and it's got a Buddhist connection buried in there, which is important. So, I thought I'd tune, but I haven't. I know that you know what I know. That you, I know what you, what I know is what you together. I know what you, I know what you know. I know what you know, what I know, what you know. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Padma, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Padme Hum. You know I, what you know is what I know. You strong? You know what I know, what you know is what I know. You strong? What I know, what you know, what I know. All my needs, all my needs, all my needs, all my needs. Together, all my needs, all my needs, all my needs. We are strong, we are strong. I know you what I know, what you know. I know. You can't get simpler words than that. What you know. You know what I know, what you know is what I know. All my needs, all my needs, all my needs. Everyone. Just humming and just thinking about the afternoon. taking in the energy of your mountain again. Uh-huh. You've got me a new song. That's payback for the rest of the other.
Okay, good job.
Now, would anyone like to lead a song? And if you do want to play the guitar, I'll tune it because it's not in tune and it's really putting me off. Anyone?
Yes, it will.
Does it keep flowing or is it slow?
Oh, you want it to go faster, slowly? Have you got the same chords as me?
this and we really need to wrap up. One of the conditions I said to Padma would come in today, I made this threat to her some months ago that you might be interested. You've got to sing Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. Are you up for it?
Yeah, you got the words there? Let's pass them out. Oh, we have to pass them out.
We got some words?
Yeah. Maybe you put them over there.
Oh, did I take them over there?
I think they're behind you. Oh,
Oh, there you go.
oh.
So you can't complain if we don't have a little bit of fun.
Have you got the words there?
I've got a few words here, yeah, I've got some, but you hand yours out.
Yeah. So I think this song was written in, it's also that period, I think it's about 67. So it was symbolic of that, of Uranus, Pluto that we're coming into again next year.
And anyone who doesn't believe astrology after you see these dates, and let me tell you, does anyone know what happened on the day after 22/2/2022, which is an incredibly significant date?
No?
I think you find that the Russians marching into Ukraine.
Oh, right.
So,
24th.
22.
It was 24th February. That was my birthday.
That's good.
We are Russia's neighbor here.
Yes, yes.
Oh, and what was the date? Because someone's given me the wrong information.
24th of February.
The 24th. Well, on one day.
Yeah.
You're not going
And
to
it's a
hold
time
it, yeah.
difference, so.
Okay. So 22/2/2022 is the pivotal date.
In
And
Australia,
2 days.
Australia it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's significant times. As is right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So what the deal is, I'm going to try to play the chords and you're going to sing.
So hold the chords in front of you.
Are we doing it in A minor, D7, E minor? I hope you forgive us for the fact we haven't practiced, but you know, that's part of the fun, isn't it? I've just got to get
Please sing
Mahana.
along with you.
Mahana and Indy is a great singer and dancer. Maybe she'll get up and dance.
Only Daddy, dance the dance of Aquarius.
And just let me sing to get the feel for the song. I'm normally very quick, classically trained, and let's see if I can get it before you go. Do, 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 do. And Jupiter dawning of the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius, Aquarius. When the moon is in the sun, Jupiter aligns with Mars, and peace will guide the land. We'll steer the stars, this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Oh, here it is. Harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust of mind, noble thoughts and noble creation, gold dreams and visions, Fifi, can you sing it? And peace will guide the planet, and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Yvonne, can you do it? Can you lead us? When her
Start the beginning again.
when her
Moon is in the seventh house, and Jupiter aligns with Mars. Then these will guide the planet, and love will steer the stars.
this is the dawning of
The age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius.
well done. We gave it a go. There was a pained look from one of you in the background, so I thought we better end that song. I won't say where it's from.
I feel like Lydia was saying it for the first time, which was great to get us on board. I've never had a chance to see the lyrics.
Take the
sing
chorus.
lyrics.
Yeah, take the
And
chorus.
I'll take the sing.
It's from a play called Hair, which would have been before your time.
Yeah, it's interesting to actually read it.
Yeah, I always thought it
It's
was
a great
like
song.
steal
Yeah.
the stars. Steer the stars. Very pretty lyrics, really. So that's important. Very pretty lyrics. Like,
Yeah, no,
it's fine, the fifth dimension. I didn't do that. That is
Yeah.
really cool, the fifth
All right.
dimension.
We'll do it once around. If you like to do that. Mhm.
Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, the second.
Okay, we're going to finish off with the usual sharing circle. You okay with that? So it's gone off, has it? Well, that's probably good.
Oh,
You're
Oh,
electric.
you're sitting on it.
You are electric.
Okay. It's there for the sake of, yes, we will pass it around Steve because it kind of empowers the person to see. It means I don't understand anything. Just going to take a look and no questions asked. Do you want to read off? I'll read off. At the start of the day, we tried to, we planned 2 months in, we started love as usual. And one of the first things that we're trying to do at these events, as well as doing the sharing circle, is to give people the opportunity to remember their sankalpa, their intention, their purpose, etc., etc. So I'm going to share what is now my sankalpa, and if you want to head in that direction, you do so as well. It's Geo, to go slowly, to tread softly. We'll go around this way. We'll go the other way if you want. You don't want to say anything, you don't say anything.
I'm taking away heartfulness. Thank you.
I just want to say I love your meditation, Greg. Your meditations are awesome. Like, they're just...
Can we acknowledge, seeing that the microphone sits there, it's kind of like thinking, wow, you're right there, and minus 2 days speaking I hope you take note of what this space looks like. It's Steve, and sometimes you can be helping me with it's just perfect.
And thank you, Padma. I just wanted to recognize Greg because he used to come here and not do meditations. And your meditations are like so good. Like, I don't know, I just go really deep. And during the meditation, my jaw just like released three or four times. It's like this tension, like not expected. Like, it doesn't do that, you know. So thank you.
I just want to say, Pram.
I want to thank on behalf of both of us that you welcomed us here so warmly. And I just want to say that I want to walk away from here with no fear.
The topic just filled me with memories from my early adulthood. I saw hair in San Francisco in the opening months in 1970.
I didn't see hair with Jack, but I was, and I do still live in the Bay Area in California, San Francisco Bay Area. And it was exciting times then, and it's still pretty interesting.
Thank you for your beautiful space that you share. Thank you for your meditation, Gio. And thank you for your singing. Welcome to our
Can I have a superficial wish for my croaky throat? Go quickly.
I'd like to just become more centered in my inner being and more meditative, effortlessly meditative.
Thank you. We're back to the start. So we're wrapping up. Is the cup of tea on? And let's keep rolling. Steve has a busy practice here. You've heard Padma talk about what he's now doing. It's the stuff of the revolution. If you need to know more, have a chat to him. He's taking it in a completely new area now. He's very much into trauma and identifying trauma and helping to resolve it. So if you get a chance, have a chat to him. If you have trauma, we all do. All the more reason.
Ancestral trauma as well? Yeah, so it doesn't have to be you. It could be your parents and your grandparents who fought in World War.
And our friends from Finland, we have such a wealth of extraordinary talent in this area. It's quite amazing at all levels. Let me just remind you of what I said at the start. Earth Meditation Tribe didn't have a use-by date, but it had an agenda that just so happened to coincide with COVID. COVID is behind us. Earth Meditation Tribe may lurch into some other area now. If you are fascinated, if you are wanting to know what the shape of that event is going to take, you need to speak to me or Steve or to Anna, who's been helping with it. So to finish off, cup of tea at the back, banana cake. I told you there's a story about the banana cake. We sometimes give, I'll keep it brief, Steve. I sometimes give a plug to the Brunswick Heads health food shop. Wow, you go there, ask for a pie. Oh, would you like a salad with it? We'll throw that in. And that's the attitude and the generosity of these people. I should talk about Dana. It's about, the Buddhists talk about generosity and they talk about gratitude. And that's what dana is about. And by the way, that's what the plate at the front is about. You don't have to pay 25 or 20. You pay what you can. This is dana. You don't want to exclude anyone. Now, I'm a fan of, this is about the banana cake. I'm a fan of a bakery called Sustainable Sunday Bakery, which is in Byron Bay and in Ocean Shores now. Is there better bread around? I doubt it. I went there yesterday, and one of the loaf they gave me wasn't quite perfect when I got home. I'm a very difficult customer, Steve. I took it back today and I pointed it out to them, and in good faith, the young woman across the counter said, "Oh, blah, 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 blah." Just beautiful attitude. Here's a new one. And by the way, is there something behind the counter that catches your eye? Oh, I wasn't thinking of that. All right. What about that piece of banana cake there? It's sugar-free and it's made with spelt. Wow. Can I take it? So yes, you guessed it. There's a sugar-free piece of banana cake out the back. I want half of it because I have cancer and my doctor doesn't want me. No, my doctor doesn't say that. My true health people say it. Don't eat too much sugar. So who shall we give the other half of the banana cake?
Divide it with Can we use it here?
I beg your pardon, we've all got another banana cake. Oh, wait till you see that. This is just a sustainable...
No, I don't do much. Give it to someone.
All right, pull something out of the air. Someone give me some words of wisdom as to where I need to take this project in the context of a new earth. What does it mean? There's a challenge. Can you put something to me? The cake goes. I'll have the cake out there. If you want a bite of it and you're into sugar-free banana cake with spelt, you can have a bite of it. Is that easy enough? Oh, I thought I'd be run over in the stampede, Steve. Okay. Okay. Thank you for coming, and our friends from Finland, our friends from America. Oh my God, I never thought I'd be saying today, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know why? Do I need to spell it out? You know I'm saying that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. RFK Jr. to me is a god.
Oh,
thank you everyone for coming, and hurry on.
If you want to take the paper back, I'll take it back if you want.
Well, thank you for that.
Very croaky today.
It was wonderful. Hey, I don't have a problem with just getting the words and the chords and not tuning the guitar. Do you? Yeah. Listen, I love that.
So we were very nice. Good sound.
Shame that we don't have someone there on the drum. That's okay. I'm sorry if I've been very direct about censorship issue. I'm over censorship. If they don't have a go, they don't have a go.
It's easier going down than going up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you go right off the road.
Thank you for coming, my dear.
Oh, yeah. Happy to be here.
Did you meet Mahana? This is Indy. Indy's a regular. She's a regular, and she often helps Steve with tidying up around the place, and it's one of the reasons why the place looks like it does. Did you get to see the front lawn and the view to the mountain?
Well, I actually came last week so Steve and Jack's chatting about Jack's
Where did you come from? It's not that far.
I hope you weren't too challenged by today. Fatima doesn't take prisoners, and that's what
She doesn't take prisoners.
you know that saying. She just tells the truth. And if it creates backlash for Geo, that's all right. Geo's a big boy. I'll probably get a notice from YouTube overnight. That's all right. Now listen.
The sister of one of my daughter's best friends.
Small world.
I felt like you know each other.
I don't know.
I thought that conversation, thank you for raising the conversation, Pratima, that conversation about children being induced by artificial oxytocin really hits me in the chest.
It's terrible. It's got worse and worse since I've been working on it.
You know what we're talking about?
I'm pretty sure it's going to its extreme.
Yes, that's what I'm feeling.
Give it over 6 months.
You know what we're talking about.
Okay, good.
And especially the more vocal that everybody is.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I didn't mention it, guys. If you can help pay the rent, all the better. In that tray there. But it's done. Thank you for coming, madam. I hope you get the challenge for that.
No, it's wonderful.
You don't mind people pushing you down a little bit.
Oh no, God, I'm the queen of it.
You alright?
Yes, I'm the queen of it. I believe I'm down. He's pushed me every way. Oh, I've been at other places, so we have my mind stretched. So,
There's a lot of California that's possible.
I see. You don't mind putting your details in
yeah, no, look, we already get these questions. This round the WhatsApp.
That's just here. This is the actual.
Right, bring that all know on that, so I can get it now back up question. It's Tracy.
Hello, Wendy.
Hello.
How are you? Good.
Yeah, no,
Where are you living?
I'm in Wollongbar now. So I'm now close to the other college. No, when I first moved up, I didn't have a car, so I couldn't get out here, moving. And then it's the way water and food and no strangers to this kind of stuff. Yeah, we will. And it's interesting what you said about Byron in 2022. The change in what it's gone like. Because we started like his rock. And I come back after the next like 4. So I went away 2019, I moved in 2023. And I would have found the car different. A whole different.
You want to use it
more graphic to me than what
a good idea.
Yeah, maybe.
One of the top 5
Yvonne.
And the case.
It's yours.
Are you guys
I lived here half a year.
Oh, do you?
5 months in Mullum.
Oh, do you?
I hate winter, so
Yeah,
I
right.
just come over.
Then you go back to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Wow.
25 years ago.
No, I agree, 100%, because I was devastated. I thought, what have they done with this place? They've turned it like the Gold Coast, to like a very clean,
Oh, yeah.
you know, almost very,
It's about
get sicker because they're going there for the token. Oh,
Having said that, I'm a fan of the
I'm a fan of his too, but the temple one. Yeah, I do.
You're going to participate before you have them.
I'll have to pick you up.
All right.
No. We used to go to Smith College, you know, to meet the girls.
My granddaughter just entered fashion class.
You crash all the parties. You crash all the Smith parties. We call up, we're like, oh, we're just in from Princeton. Okay, we'll put that on the list. It would just like drove you out.